What's good, guys? So here we are with the first video on YouTube, and in this video I'm going to show you the various different ways in which I make coins and I spot opportunities, and hopefully from watching this video you'll be able to pick up some ideas yourself. So recently, over the last few days, you've probably seen me pick up a few cards here and there, anywhere between 2, 3 to 9+ thousand profit. So if you're wondering how I find these, the first answer I'm going to give you is pretty simple. If you're not using this website by now, I'm not entirely sure what you're doing. That is footbin.com. The first thing I will do is I will use a filter like this. I'll go to players. Whatever your budget is, say you've got 5,000 coins is your budget, you will go 1,500, filter by custom price. Then what you want to do, you see this little tab here where it says order by popularity. What you want to do is you want to sort this, and all of those players that are within your price range there, what you want to do is you want to just go on the market and look at them. So at any given time you could probably be able to pick up Gabriel Jesus, who it says that he's 2.8 on X and 3.4 on PS4. So let's give him a quick check at the moment. So yep, he's 2.8. So what I would suggest you do, 2.4 is probably the highest I would go on that. So as you can see here, you've got loads of open bids, and what you could do there is all you got to do is just whack a bid down, go away, move on to another player. As soon as you've moved on to another player, what you probably want to do is go to Anthony Marshall. Let's give him a go. So Anthony Marshall is going for, what is that, 2.8 it says at the moment, so that's it there. Okay, so let me just turn on the Elgato. So at the moment you're seeing that he's going for 2.7. You could probably get him lowest at. So what I would then do is go 2.5 max. It's just mass bidding at the end of the day. That's all you're really doing. There's nothing special to it. You're not going to win all the cards that you can find. But what I would advise you to do is work within different markets. So work within popularity, that's always a good shout. And then the second thing I would advise you to do is to work towards looking at players that are in SBCs that are quite popular. So if we just look in the SBCs at the moment and we go through, okay, so let's have a look at marquee matchups. For example, you've got Schalke versus Gladbach, and you can see that none of the Gladbach players are going for less than 900 coins in the right wing position. So what you can then do there is, I would say, go back onto your screen, and then what I would say here is probably just go for them, just bid really. There you go, stuff like this, just whack bids down. Just keep bidding. That's all you got to do really. But what you're going to do is you're never going to sit there and look at one player. You're just going to go through various different options. So the three things I use are popularity, SBCs, and special cards. So what then I would do here is, let's go back to Footbin. I would go to version, gold in form. Then set it within your budget. So let's say 10,000 to 22,500. Set it by that, and then order it by popularity. Do that again. So what you can see here is, by looking at the market, you can see that there's various different players which are popular. They're probably not popular because they're used. They're probably popular because they're in a lot of SBC solutions. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick up Alan, for example. Let's look at Alan. If you're going into this with the mindset of, oh yeah, you're going to win every single auction, it's not going to happen. You're not going to win every single player. So what I would suggest you do, you just have the mindset that you're going to win maybe half of them if you're lucky. There you go, you got one for 4 minutes there. What we'll do is, throughout the course of this video, we'll let this run, we'll bid on loads of players, and then at the end of the video, what I would suggest you do is just to go back at the end of it, see which ones you've won on bid. There you go, which one's 650, they go for 900, so that's minimal profit there. But bear in mind, the more you bid on, the more coins you're going to make. So if we're just if we're just looking here at all of the different options that are there, so you go to Alan, he's up at 11. If we win this, we're looking at what? So bear in mind, you're going to want to use a tool when you're bidding on players. You're going to want to use this tool here, which is, I'll leave all these links in the description. What you want to do is you want to look at your profit margin. So if you're going to sell this guy for, if you get Alan on the bid for, let's say his lowest at the moment is 22, 20. Let's say 20. Yeah, okay, so there's one for 19.5 there. So what you want to do is you don't want to go any higher than 1,700, because at the end of the day you've got to factor in tax. So 1,700, that will give you 19,000. That will give you roughly, this is the profit margin that you're working with. It's roughly 1,000 coins. I know it doesn't seem a lot, but the more consistent you are with this and the more times you do it, the more times it adds up. Bear in mind this Alan's got a position modifier on him, so the chances of him going for higher than 19k are probably pretty likely. So I would suggest you just keep whacking your bids on. So yeah, you got this Alan here. He goes for, let's just sit here for a moment while we do this, and then I'll edit it in if we do win it on bid. It is looking there you go. So you won 2 cards there. We won a Curtis Davies. He goes for 900. All you have to do to be successful on Ultimate Team is to look for players that are in SBCs. Look for players that are in a lot of SBC solutions. Look for players that are popular. The best time to do this is probably when there's lightning rounds. Apart from other times, I don't really know any suggestions. I'm just going based off what works for me. This has always worked for me. I've never really had the problem of getting players any cheaper or more expensive. So you can see this one here, he's got 800 minimum on bid. We got that for 650, so it's nothing, but when you're at a lower budget, you're kind of working within these margins. So yeah, let's just go through. Let's just bid on more players. You've also got the silver SBCs that you're probably gonna have to bid on. So like this guy here, he goes for 1.5. There we go. Let's whack a bid down. I could probably double my coins on that. If I'm working a bit too fast, you can always just drop me a tweet on Twitter saying, you went a bit too fast in the video there, can you slow it down? I'll be more than happy to do that. So at the moment, yeah, we got this guy. It does look like we're going to win him. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you my flips at the end of this video. Okay, Alan's gone above what we would like to pay for him, so we're not actually going to bid anymore. That's the one thing you've got to know on this, is to when to step away from your bids. There we go. So we want Gaza. I'm not going to try and pronounce that name in case I get it wrong and I get fired. So yeah. Right, there we go. So there's none on the market for a K. So what we're going to do here is quite simply we're just going to go in and we're just going to relist this card as soon as you've won it. We're going to be able to list these cards, but what I can show you is examples of cards that purely using the tactics that I have done recently, how I've got them and how they've gone successfully. So if we look here, you can see that I got a Brahimi the other day for 19,000, and if we look at his price on the market at the moment, what does Brahimi actually go for? I think Brahimi was a big one. I think he went for a lot of coins, but I don't think I actually remembered to. I don't think I actually remembered to get the actual. Yeah, so there you go. Brahimi goes for 37,000. Bear in mind, this is a glitch. What you're seeing on screen there, it says 84, but he's an 85 for some reason. I'm not entirely too sure why that is. So yeah, that was a 20k profit one, and then what you can see here are the various other ones that we've got. Right, let me just log in and get all of these, because bear in mind I have various different profits across both. There we go. So yeah, I got this one here. I got Zielinski for 18k. If we just go back to the video, so yeah, Zielinski, we got him for 18,000. And then what we want to do is, if we go back into this one here on Footbin, he goes for 20k. It's not much, but what you got to do is you got to factor in this. It was a 1,000 coins profit, but the more you're consistent with it and the more that you keep doing it, obviously the more money you're going to make. Bear in mind, you've got to sit there for a very long time before it actually does pay off. And here you can see we got a Leon Bailey. I don't actually have a screen grab of this, but if you actually go onto my Twitter, I believe you'll be able to see it here. Let me just grab that up for you so you can actually see proof of me selling the card. Let me just, there you go. So there you go. We sold him for 21, which is more than enough profit. So to summarize up this video, what I'm going to suggest you do is go to FIFA 18 players on Footbin. Say if you've got 100k, put that as your maximum budget. Then you go filter there. And then what you want to do, order by popularity. Popularity is always the best key for you because everyone uses them in their squads. And what you want to do is you just want to select some of these players and gradually over time bid on them. By bidding on these cards that are popular, you know for certain, regardless of a market crashed or a change in game mode, that they're always going to be used. So popularity is number one. Then active challenges is number two. League SBCs are probably going to be your best bet here. What I would say is go for cards that are rare positions. So for example, you've got right back here, centre back. What I would then do is I would pick those three players, and over a course of time I would gradually bid on them. Check their prices before you bid on these players, because you've got to know what your profit margin is. Use this tool here. This is going to help you, and it's obviously going to be a great assistance to you. But popularity, SBCs, and various different other ways to do it. So yeah, advanced ones, for example. So you saw the other day that I sold the Jan Mvia for 4,000 coins when I got him 600 bid. The club that he actually played at, that I got him from, so if you look here, he plays for Rubin Kazan here, and I sold him for 3,000 coins. That's because he's in an SBC solution, and that card doesn't exist anymore in the game. It's out of packs. He's moved clubs. He's moved to Saint Etienne. That's another thing that you've got to look at, is you've got to buy players on bid that are out of packs, that have moved clubs, that have moved on, because you know straight away they're going to be big profits. So if I was to look at, these cards are really rare, but when they do pop up on the market, your profit margin for them is massive. So I screwed myself there by selling him for 3,000 coins. If I waited until today, he would have probably gone for more than that. But it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. You keep making profit, and you just move on. So what I would say is, you've also got cheapest players by rating. This is a really good tool. You know here that Rulli goes for 1.6, so you want to bid on him. He goes for 1.3. You bid on Promes, 1.3. Hradaki, 1.3. Set your limits. Before you bid on these cards, always go to here. Always set your budget that you have in mind. That's 200 coins profit per card. It's not a lot, but in the instances of 83s that you get below their bin, I would say it's probably best for you to keep them, hold them for future, and they go up to 3k. So when you sell them, your profit margin is higher because you bought in at a cheaper price. That's essentially it. So what you want to do is just, all of the tools that I've mentioned in this video, you just got to use them, work your way through it. this video is going to be very raw. I don't think I'll edit it that much because I don't want to chop down on the tools and the content that I'm trying to teach you, because obviously you're going to want to learn as most as possible. So over time, your active challenges are going to be your league, your advanced. You're going to have to put time in this though. It is a bit time consuming. You're going to have to go in here, see who's in solutions, start bidding on the players in these solutions that are higher priced. So you've got these guys on the left hand side. That guy, you bid on him 600 coins. Not 6,000, that's way too much. It's 350 coins. Your profit margins on big cards aren't a lot, but over the course of time, if you're doing all of these in conjunction with each other and you're using all of these ways of making coins, I'm pretty certain you'll make profit. And if you don't, then I'm not too sure if you can. You don't have the consistencies for it, you don't have the patience, which is fair enough. If sniping's more your thing, do it, but I would say it's always best to mix your options up. So that's pretty much going to be this for the video. All of the things that I've summarized, if it gets a bit confusing, just go to twitter.com/FootsPy. You'll probably follow me. That's probably where you've got my link to my YouTube from anyway. So yeah, just go on there, just send me a tweet, say yep, the example you used in your video, I don't really understand it, it's a bit hard, I'm not winning any cards on bid, and I'll tweet you back and I'll explain why it probably is that you're not winning any of these cards on bid, or whether you should move on to another card, or whether you should mix it up. Always engage me with me on Twitter, because that's the best way for me to get back to you and try and teach you more. So yeah, that's that for the video, and I look forward to bringing you the next one. Peace.